This Wall Street bets trader recorded himself losing $500,000 of his grandfather's money.
Yo, this is how I lost $26,000 day trading this morning. I lost a trade on GBP USD and a trade on the S&P 500.
I literally lost $1,000 in the span of 24 hours from day trading.
More people than ever think they're going to get rich through options trading, and most of them have no idea how dangerous it actually is. You've got people online losing $500,000 in a single year, and they treat it like it's some kind of game. They sit on live streams clicking buttons, laughing, panicking, celebrating, and meanwhile their savings, their retirement, and their future are evaporating right in front of them. It doesn't feel like real money to them anymore. It feels like a scoreboard. Options trading is one of the most volatile financial tools you can touch. You're not buying a company, you're not investing for the long term, you're betting on where a stock will move in a tiny window of time. And if you're wrong, which most people are, it's gone, just like that. Every beginner jumps in thinking they can flip $100 into $10,000 because they saw a screenshot on TikTok, but the reality is people lose thousands, tens of thousands, sometimes their entire life savings before they even understand what they're trading. And the worst part, they get addicted. Not because options are profitable, but because the rush feels good. The flashing screen, the fast charts, the promise of instant money, it hooks people the same way casinos do. But at least when you walk into a casino, you know you're gambling. With options, people convince themselves they're investing, when really they're lighting their financial future on fire. If you're not trained, disciplined, and emotionally detached, options trading isn't wealth. It's a trap. And more people are finding that out the hard way every single day. Check out some of these videos.
This Wall Street bets trader recorded himself losing $500,000 of his grandfather's money. Check this out. This is right before the bell opens. And there it is. Look at that. Oh my gosh. This is insane. He took an inauguration logo on Donald Trump's social media stock. Look at that. Yo. Oh my gosh. He's down over $400,000. I'm sorry, Grandpa.
Yo, this is how I lost $26,000 day trading this morning. I lost a trade on GBP USD and a trade on the S&P 500. Per usual, it was recorded live and traded live with my Discord, and it's getting uploaded to YouTube right now. And you're probably saying, damn, bro, that's a big loss. That's a big number. Yeah, so I actually took, only 2 trades, but I scaled into the S&P trade. So 2 positions on the S&P trade, 1 position on the GBP USD trade, and we took a loss on all of them. Pretty much my biggest loss that I've taken in a really long time. But when I think about it and I see it in the grand scheme of things, right, because we have to have perspective with all this, when I hear that number, I'm thinking, wait a second, I can usually make that in like 1 trade if it hits take profit, like a Forex trade, because I risk more on my Forex trades because they've been hitting. So am I totally concerned about this? No, because this was actually accurately risked. Fortunately for me, over the past couple weeks, almost all of my losses, I haven't risked nearly as much when I do lose, and then when I win, I'm risking like a normal amount. So we lost 2 trades today, and both of the losses were what they were supposed to be, just except for the fact that I scaled in a little bit extra. So I was supposed to be, a little bit more aggressive on this trade, and I lost. So from a psychological standpoint, I'm chilling. But also, I think I'm going to have to pay for my car in cash, and I think I'm going to do that today. I'm not sure yet. I'm going to a credit union right now, once I upload this YouTube video, to see if I can, still potentially finance it, because it's stupid to pay for a car in all cash. Even though I can, I'm going to try and do it any other way. But if I do end up having to pay for it in cash, then I essentially lost, like 130 something K or like 140K today. So we'll try not to do that.
So I do post my house, my cars, my bags. But let's talk about the downsides of trading options. Number one, I've lost so much money. That's it. I've lost so much money. It's not even funny. Granted, made $1 million. I've lost so much money though. I probably have lost I'm not even gonna say it because I don't even feel like hearing it in the comments. I lost so much money in the beginning. I made so many poor financial decisions in the beginning. I'm honestly gonna make a video about my trading journey because I think a lot of y'all think it was just, $1,400. 3 years later, now I'm sitting at $1 million. No, I had so many setbacks. I made so many mistakes. Like that Tesla I bought when I was 18, after the 7 months of trading, everyone was like, oh, you're so great. I literally could not even afford that car. Like I could afford it technically, but like it was the majority of what I had at the time. Like that was so irresponsible. I was just 19 with a lot of money and I was like, woo, I can do it again. Jesus. 2, trading will really tell you about yourself emotionally. Like if you are someone who's greedy, oh yeah, you're getting ate up. Like you're gonna literally be in a trade. You're gonna be like, oh my goodness, I'm up $500 and then not close out because you want to make 6. And now you just closed out with only 200 because you want to be greedy. Or if you're timid, right? You could be like, oh, you mark up this whole chart, spend an hour marking up the chart. You're like, oh, I think I can enter the trade now. And then you hesitate and you're like, oh, but I'm not sure. And you watch the whole thing play out. $30 move to the upside. You missed out. Now you homeless. So emotionally, your psychology in the beginning, taking a loss, I'm telling you, I would lose, close my computer, no one speak to me for a week. Like my mental health was at an all-time low beat when I first started trading. Insane. One thing that's actually it is a con because who wants to pay taxes? But people are always like, yeah, but capital gains tax. Yeah, but you get taxed on all that. Whenever people make those comments, I'm like, okay, well, when you're used to getting, a tax return, maybe paying some capital gains tax might be a lot. Maybe ooh to you, right? The way I like to see it is if I make $1 million and it's like, oh my goodness, I have to go pay $300,000 in taxes or $200,000 or whatever it is after you write stuff off. I still made $700,000-$800,000. That's still a blessing. I would rather be like, oh, I owe taxes because I made so much money than be like, oh my goodness, I can't pay my bills but I got $50 back this year. I don't know how that sounds, but like it's a con, but it's a blessing at the same time. Everybody's gonna think that they can just do what you do. That's another big con. I teach people how to trade and I love doing it, but I like teaching people who understand it's a process. Like me doing this in 3 years is not serious. Like there's so many traders who I know who have been trading for so much longer than me who have not hit this. I just think I got lucky. Like I think I really got lucky in the beginning. And yeah, like I think that's the big reason why I did that whole 1,400 to 10,000. I didn't know what I was doing when I did that. I just got lucky the first time. Obviously 2-3 years later, that's not all luck, but like there's traders who have been trading for years don't hit $1 million. I know traders who have been trading for 6 months hit $1 million. Trading is not a linear thing, but there's people who go into it and they're like, oh, well, when can I start making 10K a month? Not starting with $100 and not in 3 weeks, that's for sure. Trading is not a get rich quick thing. And I hate when people message me and they're like, oh, put me on with the trading. What stocks do I invest in? I trade. Like I have a long-term portfolio, but I'm in and out of my trades. Like I'm not like putting it here and 10 years later I have 15K. Like that's not what I do. I'm on my market opens in like 30 minutes. I'm on my charts. Okay. Trading is not for everybody, but trading is not for everybody, but trading can definitely help everybody. Yeah. What do I always tell? I always tell my mentees, even though we trade options, trading cannot be an option for you. Otherwise, you're not going to succeed, period. Those are the downsides. There's probably a lot more, but the market opens in 30 minutes and I need to go pay my bills.
I literally lost $1,000 in the span of 24 hours from day trading. And here's my mistake. I day trade. I work an 8 to 5. It doesn't really work out. I try to focus on the charts. Can't happen. I try doing it for my 15-minute break, my 30-minute break, my other 15-minute break. Can't happen. And I literally lost $1,000 in 24 hours. And I heard about it, kind of saw it coming. But how do I recoup this? I don't know.
What's the most you've lost in one option trade? Well, I think back. Okay. And forgive me the year and forgive me the strike price, because we're going back like 30 years. But in the early 90s, I had a lot of money and traded the markets a lot. And I kind of recognized a pattern that it seemed Apple Computer always went up and it was bouncing between like 38 and 70. And again, the numbers are going to be a little bit off, but I bet you can go back and look at the chart and it'll be somewhere similar to what I'm talking. And it was October and I started accumulating calls, and they were either January 40 or 45s. I think they were 45s. January 45 calls on Apple Computer, because I thought it was probably going to go to 70 by February or what have you, because that's what it did a lot. And I started buying them, and I kept buying them, and I kept buying them. And I don't know how much I put into them, but I had a whole heck of a lot of them. And Apple Computer, I believe, came out with earnings on a Thursday night before option expiration. And I kid you not, the stock was trading at like 44 and a half or 45 and a quarter, right around the strike price. And I apologize for anybody out there that doesn't follow market talk, but this is the story. And it came out with a huge positive upside. And in the morning, or the after market trading, it was up like $3 to 48. I'm going, well, and I don't know how many I had, but I had a lot of them. I mean, I don't know. It was a lot. I probably had, 40 or 50 grand of my own money that was at the money. And that if it worked out like I thought it would, it probably would have turned into $500,000 overnight. And the stock opened up on trading on that Friday at like 47 and a half or so. And I'm going, that's pretty good. I'm making some money. But I bet you the stock rallies into the close. I bet the stock rallies into the close. And throughout the day, it kind of just was tired and traded and ended up closing about flat on the day at like 44 3/4 or wherever it had opened. And I remember watching that, and my 50,000, which in my mind could have been $500,000 because I thought I hit the home run, ended up at zero. Ended up at zero. And I think our Christmas party was that night, and I didn't go. And I was too emotionally attached to this position and to this money, but I was mentally crushed by this, more than the financial loss. More than the financial loss. I felt I'd been right. I was right. I was going to hit a home run. I was going to go woo-hoo-hoo, run around the office high-fiving people. But instead, I just kind of left. And I tell you what, I was way too emotionally exhausted. I think my parents came over, and I lived in this cool apartment in downtown Chicago, and I was just kind of crying, going, and again, it was more than the money, because I'd lost money before. But I think it was like my emotional attachment to the position and to the idea that I had to be right, and that I was right, and that I wasn't going to get rewarded for it. So, was I really right at all?